This video comes with a trigger warning. I'm going to use the word grape. This video is about the Romans. In ancient Rome, grape was not about sex. It was about domination and humiliation. Roman elites used sexual violence to assert themselves politically. It was social dominance, especially over slaves, women, their enemies, even citizens of a lower rank. There was no concept of consent as we know it in ancient Rome. Roman law focused on protecting the paterfamilias, the head of the family. It was all about property rights. Grape was only seen as a crime if you violated another man's control of his property. It's only a crime for you to grape somebody else's daughter. And enslaved people could not legally be graped as their bodies were property. The Romans used grape as a tool of empire. Enslaving conquered people came with brutal sexual exploitation. Roman historians like Livy and Tacitus describe grape as standard practice for the Romans when conquering. The grape of the Sabine women was mythologized as the birth of Roman families, an act that was necessary and noble. But it was actually mass abduction. You see, early Rome had a problem. There were no women. So legend has it, Romulus invited the neighboring Sabines to a festival. And during the event, they abducted the women and forced them to become wives of Roman men. Roman soldiers were encouraged to humiliate defeated enemies with sexual violence because Roman masculinity equated to virility, and being penetrated, regardless of gender, was a mark of shame. Roman culture normalized abuse. Roman satire, poetry, and even graffiti reveal a society that was steeped in sexual threats, rampant with casual abuse, and that mocked the violated. Roman writers like Martial and Juvenal joked about grape and used it to insult their enemies. When Rome is held up as the gold standard in civilization, empire mindset itself is sanitized and normalized. Brutal conquest, enslavement, and genocide are synonymous with the Roman Empire. Reframing that as progress or inevitable development or natural order is so incredibly harmful. Roman society was hyper-patriarchal. Women were property, and your masculinity was measured in your ability to be violent and dominate others. Glorifying Rome is a blueprint for toxic masculinity. Western curriculums produce emotionless conquerors and perpetuate a misled idea that men should lead, and that to do so requires domination. This is why Andrew Tate fans love Stoicism. It gives them a license to kill. School children should not be reading Caesar's diaries. He enslaved 1 million people. Mussolini explicitly styled fascism after Roman glory. And even today, right-wing, patriarchal, dominating mindsets love an old Roman aesthetic. Statues and symbols that signal white supremacy. Make Rome great again. It's a dog whistle. Western children are done a disservice to their intelligence by focusing on Roman brilliance, but not talking about Carthage or Benin or Persia or China. Why are we learning Latin in school but not Yoruba? What about the Kush Empire or the Phoenicians? What do you know about the empires of Mali or the Indus Valley? Did you know that most of the technical revolutions that the West are so proud of, like paper and printing and gunpowder and advanced bureaucracy, came from China? What do you know about the Tang or the Song dynasties? Buddhist kingdoms built entire civilizations around spiritual wisdom, non-violent, monastic education. a radical contrast to Rome's warrior cult. We talk about the Romans built the roads. Yeah, but the Incas had already built roads and they had done it without wheels. Yet they were highly efficient. We don't talk about that. While the Romans had pushed Europe into black chaos, the Dark Ages, which are often misattributed to the fall of Rome. Rome never fell. While this was happening in Europe, the Islamic Golden Age was bringing the world hospitals, libraries, universities, algebra, optics, medicine. All Rome ever did was stole other people's great work, claimed it as their own, burned everybody else's books, and then degraded them just for good fun. Civilization did not start with white men. Let's decolonize that idea now.